Real fast, I want to start this video with a rest in peace to Rudy Johnson. Absolute tragic news today, hearing that he did pass away suddenly. Sorry, give me a moment. I spent like an hour crying after I heard that. Like I said, rest in peace, man. Love you. We all love you. Sorry. Anyway, on other news, CJ Gardner-Johnson just got cut by the Texans. And now the question is, should the Bengals look at him and potentially pick him up? Now, keep in mind that, as it says here, he was released after friction behind the scenes with him, complaining about his role, wanting to blitz more, per the league sources, and even communicating that he wanted to be traded. It didn't work out for him here, right? And it's funny because the Texans obviously are always the team that picks up the Bengals, right? Whenever we cut someone or get rid of someone, they end up picking them up. They picked up Irv Smith. They picked up Trent Brown. They got Joe Mixon, right? This is kind of just like the new, if you're a Bengals fan, Texans might be a second home because they always find a way to, utilize that in some capacity. In all honesty, this actually is not the worst idea out there. So let me explain. Mike Hilton was actually our guy that we used to use all the time as a free blitzer. We would put him off the edge and have him like as a safety blitz or a cornerback blitz. And it did actually work out very, very well. And I'm sure Al Golden, you could definitely utilize this guy in that capacity. And if he just wants to be utilized as simply an extra pass rusher, this, honestly, with how bad our pass rush has looked so far, I really don't think this is a bad concept to go with, This guy can get to the quarterback, can get after the quarterback, and help us shut down the run game when we're about to play the Lions in a couple weeks. This is actually a pretty decent option. Now, he did obviously used to play for the Lions at one point, so that's also another factor here. You got someone who maybe knows some inside sources on the Lions, but for the most part, if you look at his grades, 71.2 run defensive grade and 58.9 coverage grade. So that was for this season so far. Last season looks like pretty similar. Let me see this real fast. Oh, I'm not logged in. Okay, crap. Hang on. Hold up. Let me log in my account real fast. That's gonna fix that. All right, there we go. Let me log in my account. And last season, he put up an 81.3 coverage grade and a 60.8 pass rushing grade. So obviously a lot better coverage grade, it looks like, over the last couple years, and decent in run support for the most part. So it depends on the price tag, as I always say. Depending on the price tag depends on everything. I know there's going to be some, maybe other teams fans are like, oh, you would never want to play for the Bengals. Honestly, he probably would. If he wants to get utilized as a blitzer, we could definitely utilize him as a blitzer. And as I've said many times, look at our division. Brownies are going to have an awful season. Steelers, I think they're going to eventually start to curve on the downward angle. They are currently 2-1 like us, but I think eventually they will start curving downward. And then the Ravens are having themselves a really bad season so far. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that we are looking at a AFC South, NFC South type scenario, where it's not about who has a great record and does amazing. It's about who is, in the end, who has the best record in the division, right? It's not about being the best team possible. It's about just having a better record than everybody else in your division. And you never know. You never know what could happen. And if we're still in the division come week 14, 15, Joe Burrow comes back, we're still in there. So working on this defense and making this defense better definitely is going to help out a lot, because if we have another game, well, first off, if you have another game like Sunday where he turned the ball over like 5 freaking times. Like, I just don't see the way you can win that game, in all honesty. But as long as our offense plays smart, and if our defense can get even better, and you're adding another guy that could get after the quarterback, I mean, you got to improve your team. If you have a chance, go for it. Like, there's really no reason not to at least go after someone who could better your team in some capacity. Even if you're like, well, this season feels like it's over, this season feels like it's a wash. At the end of the day, no season's over until you are calculated out of the playoffs. And I know you might say, well, come on, man, there's no way we get more than 5 wins. We have seen crazier things in the NFL. It's any given Sunday. Until, you are calculated out of the playoffs, you are still technically in this playoff run. So we're going to treat it like that, and we're going to play like that. Coaches don't want to lose. Players don't want to lose. No one tanks when it comes to those positions. So we're going to go out there and put our best foot forward. But, improving the team, especially the safety position, which is already very weak, this might not be a bad idea, especially because we can utilize him like Mike Hilton in that capacity. Now, again, like I said, we'll have to wait and see what the Bengals end up doing. But I feel like eventually we will be signing some type of free agent, because at this point, we got to do something. We got to do something. Our defense last week didn't look bad before the turnovers, obviously. Turnovers are going to make any defense not look great. But I think again, it's going to be a long season, one game at a time. But I wouldn't mind going after someone like this. If it helps us out, it helps us out. For the right price tag, obviously, we're not going to give him like $1 bazillion. But if he'll take more of a decent deal with us, sure, bring him in. If he doesn't work out, I would honestly, with this type of situation, and mainly with these type of situations, you kind of go with more of a know-nothing deal, nothing guaranteed. Because obviously the issue is he wanted to be a blitzer more. So you could promise him, hey, listen, we're not going to give you crazy guarantee, but we will give you exactly what you want when it comes to what you want to do, which is be more of a blitzer. And again, with Al Golden's defense, I'm very, very confident Al Golden's defense is only going to get better throughout the next couple of weeks up to the rest of this year. So let's just see how it works out. Tell me down below your thoughts, opinions.